Here are the top 3 breaking news stories you need to know today. Breaking news: powerful earthquake rocks. Northern Japan, tsunami. Warning sparks, massive evacuations. A powerful earthquake of magnitude 7.5 to 7.6 struck off the northeastern coast of Japan late on Monday, December 8, 2025, prompting tsunami warnings, mass evacuations, and a tense night for coastal residents. The quake occurred at approximately 11:15 p.m. local time, 14:15 UTC, with an epicenter located about 80 kilometers off the coast of Aomori Prefecture, at a depth of 54 kilometers beneath the seabed. Authorities from the Japan Meteorological Agency, JMA, immediately issued a tsunami warning for the northeastern Pacific coast, indicating waves could reach as high as 3 meters, approximately 10 feet, in some areas. Who was affected, immediate impact, and warning response? Roughly 90,000 residents across coastal prefectures including Aomori, Iwate, and parts of Hokkaido were ordered to evacuate as a precaution. Initial measurements showed tsunami waves of between 20 and 70 centimeters, 7 to 27 inches, at several ports, far below the highest predicted surges. At least 23 people were reported injured, mostly from falling objects as buildings shook during the tremor. Transportation networks were disrupted, local rail services and high-speed trains in parts of the region were suspended, and many households experienced temporary power outages. Despite the severity of the quake, there were no immediate reports of major structural damage or catastrophic flooding. All tsunami advisories were lifted by early Tuesday morning as risk receded. Why it happened, geology and history of the region. Japan lies along the volatile Ring of Fire, a zone of intense tectonic activity. This latest seismic event, classified as the 2025 Sanriku earthquake, hit off the coast of Aomori Prefecture, a region long vulnerable to submarine earthquakes and tsunamis. The JMA registered the tremor as upper 6 on Japan's 1 to 7 seismic intensity scale in cities like Hachinohe, meaning the shaking was powerful enough to make it difficult to stand or walk, and heavy furniture and fittings were likely thrown about. Given the region's history, including the 2011 tsunami disaster, authorities remain especially vigilant. The earthquake triggered a megathrust alert, warning of potential aftershocks or larger quakes in the days ahead. What officials did and what residents did. The government quickly mobilized emergency response teams and set up crisis management protocols. Officials urged people along the threatened coastline to move to higher ground, follow evacuation orders, and stay alert for possible aftershocks. Rail and bullet train lines in the affected areas were suspended temporarily to avoid risk during aftershocks. Power restoration efforts were underway overnight, and inspections were launched on critical infrastructure, including nuclear power plants, though no abnormalities were detected as of early Tuesday. By morning, the tsunami warnings were downgraded to advisories and eventually lifted, once data confirmed wave heights were far below the worst-case predictions. Residents gradually returned to their homes while authorities warned to remain vigilant. What we learned, a warning for coastal communities worldwide. This dramatic event shows once again how unpredictable and dangerous undersea earthquakes can be, especially in tectonically active zones like Japan. Even with advanced warning systems, the potential for widespread disruption remains real. It also highlights the importance of public awareness, emergency drills, and infrastructure readiness, especially in coastal communities. Rapid evacuations and prompt government response likely prevented a far worse outcome. As Japan braces for possible aftershocks, the world watches and learns. The 2025 Sanriku earthquake is a stark reminder. Nature respects no borders. Preparedness is everyone's responsibility.
Breaking weather alert. A deadly storm with 9-mile-an-hour winds is tearing across the UK right now, triggering danger life warnings and massive flooding. News update. Storm Bram batters UK with 90 miles per hour winds. Floods. Danger to life warnings issued. A powerful storm named Storm Bram slammed into the United Kingdom on Tuesday, bringing hurricane-force winds, torrential rain, and widespread flooding triggering multiple danger to life alerts, massive travel disruption, and damage across large parts of the country. What happened? Storm Bram's impact. The official meteorological service has forecast gusts up to 90 miles per hour in regions such as northwest Scotland, Outer Hebrides, and parts of Northern Ireland. In the south and west, including South Wales and southwest England, amber rain warnings came into effect as the storm unleashed 50 to 75 millimeters of rain, with some areas expecting up to 100 millimeters. The heavy rain and saturated ground triggered dozens of flood alerts and warnings nationwide. Warnings and consequences. Authorities issued multiple danger-to-life warnings, cautioning people to avoid travel and stay clear of flooding zones, flying debris, or coastal areas. Disruptions spread quickly across transport systems. Flights, trains, ferries were cancelled or delayed. Key roads and railways were closed. Bridges and coastal roads especially threatened by flood and wind damage. Many homes were left without power. Utility sources and travel plans collapsed in many areas. Safety advice and what you should do. According to experts and emergency sources, secure or bring indoors any loose outdoor items such as furniture, ladders, garbage cans. They can become dangerous projectiles during high winds. British Red Cross advised that everyone should avoid travel unless absolutely essential. Roads, bridges, coastal routes may be unsafe. If you live near rivers or in flood-prone zones, monitor local flood alerts and prepare for possible evacuations. What this means. Storm Bram shows how powerful storms shaped by climate patterns can strike suddenly, threatening lives, damaging infrastructure, and disrupting daily life across entire nations. For residents in affected areas, now is the time to stay alert, stay safe, and follow official guidance closely. For you, as someone watching this from inside, it's a stark reminder of the growing frequency of extreme weather worldwide and why staying informed is more important than ever.
Breaking news. A massive atmospheric river is flooding western Washington right now, dumping inches of rain and triggering dangerous flood alerts. News update. Atmospheric river bears down on western Washington, flood alerts, heavy rain, and high risks. A powerful atmospheric river has unleashed days of relentless rain across western Washington, triggering flood watches, sweeping storms, and rising danger for many communities. What happened? Rainfall, floods, and rising danger. The rain began late Sunday and intensified over the weekend as the atmospheric river moved in. By Monday, several regions recorded inches of rainfall, and flood warnings were issued statewide. Forecasts warn that lowland areas could see 2 to 6 inches, about 50 to 150 millimeters, of rain, while coastal and mountainous zones might get much more, raising the risk as flash floods and swollen rivers. Rivers and streams across the coast and foothill zones, including the Cascades run rivers, are under flood watch, as swollen waters threaten to burst banks and disrupt communities. Why it matters for residents and communities. People living in low-lying areas, floodplains, or near rivers have been urged to stay alert. Rising water levels and saturated soil increase the risk of flooding and landslides. Roads, bridges, and infrastructure are vulnerable. Heavy rain can cause closures, disruption, and accidents due to floods or unstable ground. Emergency services are on high alert. Residents are advised to monitor local flood warnings, avoid travel if possible, and secure belongings in flood-prone zones. What is an atmospheric river, and why so dangerous? The atmospheric river is a concentrated plume of moisture stretching from the tropics across the Pacific. When it hits coastal zones, it dumps huge amounts of rain fast. The current system has been described as unusually intense, a moisture plume delivering torrential rain, saturated soils, and widespread flood risk. Meteorologists warn that with soils already saturated from earlier rainfall, the risk of flooding, landslides, and dangerous runoff is significantly elevated. What residents should do? Safety advice. Avoid travel unless absolutely necessary. Roads, bridges, and mountain routes may be unsafe due to high water or landslides. Stay away from rivers, swollen streams, and flood zones. Moving water can rise quickly and unpredictably. Prepare emergency kits, move valuables to higher ground, and stay updated with official flood alerts and weather advisories. If you live in a flood-prone area, consider relocating temporarily until the rainfall eases and rivers recede. Broader impact: a warning on climate patterns. This atmospheric river, one as the strongest in recent memory, is a stark reminder of how climate change is intensifying weather systems. What used to be raw heavy rains are now more frequent and powerful, and communities must adapt. Many experts say we should expect more events like this in future winters.